Hello, everybody. Yep, that just happened. Okay, so cool stuff. We actually have a new deck to unbox today. And I couldn't resist getting one by Esther and Jerry Hicks. So a lot of you are probably going to be familiar with this. Esther is the one who channels Abraham. And, I've mentioned Bouchard in my previous videos, and I wish I had his cards because I know there actually used to be a deck a while back, but I guess it's probably out of print at this point, so I never got to buy it. But that deck was meant to help us like connect with interterrestrial beings, and that's the only one that I could find by him. But Abraham, on the other hand, has like I think there's quite a few decks. I mean, there's definitely a lot of different books that are out there by Abraham, but there are also a lot of cards as well. So I think this one is the only Oracle card deck that I have by Abraham or Esther and Jerry Hicks. Anyways, but it just like really resonated when I saw asking it as given. I'm like, yes, that's what manifestation is all about. So yeah, and their teachings, for those of you guys who are not familiar, they're basically about the law of attraction and your vibrations and attracting what you want into your vortex. I can't say I 100% agree with everything, but I feel like there's a lot of truth to what they're saying. So again, as I mentioned before in one of my previous videos, to me it's more about the law of assumption by Neville Goddard, essentially, and you will see probably more and more people speak about it because it seems to be really working for people, which is awesome and easier than the law of attraction, because law of attraction kind of implies that you have to feel, okay? You have to, even if you're feeling like shit, okay? You have to make yourself vibrate on this higher frequency, right? Thereby attracting whatever it is that you actually want in your life, which is literally nearly impossible for 99.9% of people that at least I know, because when you feel like shit, you just feel like shit. And the law of assumption doesn't really emphasize. Oh my god, am I making emphasize that? I keep doing that. Emphasize or empathize? No, emphasize. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Foreigner moment. I don't know why that word specifically though. It used to be totally fine, and now I'm just like always questioning if I'm saying it right. I'm manifesting making a mistake in it. Anyway, so law of assumption emphasizes you assuming that basically what you want is already yours. And it doesn't really matter how you feel necessarily. I mean, it helps, but you don't have to feel like you just love life and everything's fabulous when you actually hate it, at the moment. Anyway, I'm probably gonna eventually go more into like and do a separate video if you guys want me to. I don't know if it's gonna resonate with most people. But anyway, this one is more about the law of attraction. So let's not be judgy and just see what it's all about and like see what the actual cards are about, okay? Oh my god. Jesus, what a long introduction. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's see what we have. These beautiful cards capture the essence of the life-changing best-selling book Ask and It Is Given. Oh, by the way, I'm going to include the link to these below, and probably to the book, might as well. So, okay. This one doesn't have a guidebook either, so neither did the previous deck I was just working with, which was called The Power of Surrender, by the way. Check it out if you feel like it. Okay, so yeah, so basically we just have this. This is what they look like. This is Esther, the one who channels. This is Jerry, and he has unfortunately passed on. Although, based on what I've been hearing about near-death experiences and the afterlife, maybe he's having the time of his afterlife right now. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, these are glossy. So just like your typical Oracle cards that are glossy, pretty nice, sturdy cardstock. This is okay, so here's the cool part about it. Yeah, I saw that when I was ordering them too. So they don't have like a single back cover for all of them. Instead, there's a little message on the front of the card and then a more extended message on the back, which is why they don't really need the guidebook anyway. So these are also great cards for someone who's just starting out with Oracle cards, and let's say like you're trying to read them for yourself or for others. It's great to have more words on them when that's the case, because before you can really tune into your intuition and to the images on the cards, I mean, unless you're like super intuitive as that is, before that can happen, it's usually really helpful to have cards that have more information on them about the message. You know what I mean? Anyway, so let's go through these and hopefully I'll have enough time. And then we'll do a little reading at the end, of course, as we always do. Oh, and look, there's actually, the cards are numbered. It's kind of cool. It doesn't always happen. All right, so I will love where I am right now. Sweet. Absolute well-being is the basis of my universe. Why is it taking me so long? I am a physical extension of source energy, as all of us are. There is evolutionary value in my personal preferences. My desires and beliefs are only thoughts. Super important. It's equally as important in the law of attraction as it is in the law of assumption. I will never cease being or desiring. Word. A consistent formula gives me consistent result. I'm a vibrational being in a vibrational environment. My emotions are vibrational interpreters. Very cool. The most powerful law in the universe. Ooh, don't you want to see what it is? Do you think I'm going to show it to you? It's probably going to be the law of attraction. I'm pretty fucking sure. But let's just read this one because it sounds too intriguing not to read it. Every thought vibrates, every thought radiates a signal, and every thought attracts a matching signal back. We call that process the law of attraction. The law of attraction says that which is like unto itself is drawn. Yeah, so no surprises there, I guess. Nothing happens without my having invited it. When my desires and beliefs are a vibrational match, all that is benefiting from my existence. I am rediscovering the art of allowing my natural well-being. I am standing on the leading edge of thought. I am in the perfect position to get there from here. I love this. And it really depends on what kind of art you're into. But these are so cute. These images are so adorable. I love them. I love that it's not just pictures, you know? Which, I mean, pictures are fine also, but this, like, I feel like somebody really put their heart into these, like, through painting them. Some artists, like, really poured their heart into it. Okay, I am in the perfect position to get there from here. We already read this one. I am a vibrational transmitter and receiver. Doesn't sound like we're a radio or something. My attention to it invites it in. Totes. Every subject is two subjects, wanted and not wanted. I now hold the key to creating my every desire. I am becoming consciously aware of my inner being. It is not about controlling my thoughts. It's about guiding them. I love this. I can accept myself as a vibrational being. But whose truth is the true truth? Exactly. Moods are indicators of my emotional set points. My emotional set points can be changed. I learn to pay attention to my feelings. Very important. An empty feeling is telling me something important. Is that a bird? Looks like a bird. I mean, I'm sure it's a head, but it looks like a bird. Interesting. Sorry. I have the ability to direct my own thoughts. What if Source were standing in my physical shoes? Which it is, because we're all a part of Source. Just FYI. I sound like such a smartass. I'm attracting its vibrational essence. Whatever I can imagine, the universe can deliver. Yeah, just think of the universe as Amazon, where you don't really have to pay. You pay with your thoughts, you know what I mean? And feelings. I receive what I want. I must not push against unwanted. Super important. We are all co-creators within a diverse universe. I won't put those unwanted ingredients in my pie. There is enough room for all ideas and experiences. True. I will never get there, so I will enjoy my journey. That's both like encouraging and a little depressing. Since every request is granted, I feel no competition. Agreed. Why are they not getting what they are asking for? My greatest gift to give is my happiness. Why does my saying no to it mean saying yes to it? That's an important one. I can gradually change my vibrational frequency. Totally. I will reach for the best feeling thought I have access to. Oh yeah, they talk about this all the time. I mean, like all these things Abraham always talks about all the time, but this one I feel like is the most prominent. When I reverse the thought, I reverse the condition. Life is always in motion, so I cannot be stuck. But it sure as hell feels like you can be stuck, right? Only I know what is appropriate for me. Exactly. Every reality has been focused by someone into being. And I love that they have reality in quotation marks. That's how it always should be. But what about those innocent little babies? Okay, let's read this one too, because I feel like this one has been one of the main things that, like, when I just started years ago listening to Abraham, I was like, wait, but what about like all the suffering and the things that there's no way people were manifesting? You know what I mean? And this is definitely one of those questions that people ask a lot and wonder about a lot. So let's just read it. Let's see what's happening. Even your babies are offering vibrations that the universe is matching. And like you, your little ones are influenced by the vibrations of those who surround them. But nevertheless, they are creating their own reality. And like you, long before their physical birth, they set into motion this life experience that they're not now living. I feel like this is key here. It's not about like our babies resonating negative frequency or whatever. It's more about long before their physical birth into this plane of existence, they are their higher self is the one that set into motion this life experience that they're now living. And we all kind of had this mutual agreement as souls, you know, if that's what you want to believe, which I do, to co-create this experience on this physical plane. So I know this is really, really fucking hard for a lot of people to hear, especially if, God forbid, their child is handicapped or something terrible happened. And I don't even want to go into it, but I just want to say that it just feels so unbelievably unfair and so it just makes no fucking sense. And I'm sorry I keep cussing. Gosh, I probably need to stop that. Although these videos are for people who are 18 and over, so I'm sure you can handle it. So anyway, my point being, it's really hard to accept that as truth, and you don't have to. I mean, you create your own reality through your thoughts, so most of it anyway, I guess. So you can believe whatever the heck you want to believe, but I'm just saying, I feel like a lot of those things that we absolutely cannot explain when we're here on Earth, and they just feel ridiculously unjust and unfair and horrible, I can bet that those are not even necessarily karmic things that we have to experience and suffer through, because I'm starting to really question the whole concept of karmic debt and whatnot. But more than anything, those are soul lessons and themes that we have agreed to experience in this life for whatever reason. It could be not even only for us, it could be for those who love us as well, for our loved ones. Anyway, I'm not going to go into all that, but I just wanted to read this because I feel like this is a very important question that a lot of people have. Well, at least I had it all the time. I was like, but what about those babies? Okay. Behind my every desire is my desire to feel good. In my appreciation, I offer no resistance. I must be selfish enough to align with well-being, and we can talk more about selfish, the concept of being spiritually selfish. I don't know if you heard that. I just recently have. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, why am I doing this? Okay. My uncontrolled thoughts are not to be feared. And don't put yourself into the box. Although this looks like a door, actually. My slightest improvement is of such great value. Yes, I will do my best to make the best of it. Love. My financial decline will not elevate the impoverished. Success is about the joy I feel. It's natural for my body to be well. First, I reach for joy and all else follows. My life is supposed to be fun. Hells yeah. Okay, I'm gonna connect with these beautiful cards, of which there are, I keep forgetting to say the number of cards. There are 60 of them, apparently. And let's get a little reading for you, my friend. Whoever's watching this, whoever resonated with this video, this message is gonna be for you. Okay, I was called to pull 4 cards this time. I usually pull 3, but for some reason this one, I don't know, I felt like there has to be 4. Not gonna question it too much. Okay, so let's see what we have here. First of all, how cool that this card came up, the one on the cover of the deck. That's really nice. Since every request is granted, I feel no competition. Why is it taking me so long? This is a really important one. I have the ability to direct my own thoughts, and I won't put those unwanted ingredients in my pie. I remember pulling this card. Should we read the messages as well? Let's do it. Each point of view matters. Every request is granted. There is no end to the universal resources that fulfill these requests, and there is no end to the answers to the never-ending stream of questions. And for that reason, there is no competition. So basically, no end of universal resources. Why is it taking me so long? The only reason you have not already received what you desire is because you are holding yourself in a vibrational pattern that does not match the vibration of your desire. This is like a huge part of their teaching. I have the ability to direct my own thoughts. You have the option of observing things as they are, or of imagining them as you want them to be, and whichever option you choose, your thoughts produce a vibration within you that equals your point of attraction, and then circumstances and events line up to match the vibrations that you have offered. All right. And this one, I won't put those unwanted ingredients in my pie. Imagine yourself as a chef in an extremely well-stocked kitchen, where there are many ingredients that are not appropriate for your creation, but you feel no discomfort about their existence. You simply utilize the ingredients that will enhance your creation, and you leave the ingredients that are not appropriate for your creation out of your pie. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Okay, so right away, I don't know, the first, there's like 2 things that came up for me that are not directly maybe related to these messages, but I just had to mention them. The first one is, I feel like on each one of these cards, the people that we see are, to me, they feel like seekers. Like, I feel like if you were watching this, you're definitely a spiritual seeker. This is probably why you were drawn to this message and these cards. And I almost feel like these cards are all about you creating your own reality through your thinking and feeling and, you know, the law of attraction, which, as I mentioned before, I don't 100% believe that the law of attraction is the only way to attract, of course. I am a big fan of the law of assumption now, which, again, hi to Eva. Thank you so much for introducing me to that awesome law. And you guys should totally check it out on YouTube. There's a ton of videos on the law of assumption and how it works. But still, I feel like this is kind of, it's almost like a 90-10, like 90% of your reality, you are the one who can control it. And then 10 of it is predestined, probably also by you, by your higher self. So in a way, we can say that all of it is manifested by you, but some of it is manifested from the non-physical realm, okay? And the rest is actually like a playground for us, you know, this lifetime, to figure out how to manipulate this reality in the way that suits us best. And I guess like one of the best ways to learn how to do it is for us to experience shit that we really don't want to experience. So we have this contrast between what is and how we want things to be. And that's what actually pushes us towards trying to figure out a way that works better, okay? And law of attraction, for some people, it works just perfectly. So I'm not saying it's not like effective or anything like that. And plus, you know, when I bought these cards, I was definitely more into the law of attraction. I mean, I still am, kind of, sort of, but ever since the law of assumption, it just feels like it's way easier, I guess, and it doesn't feel as taunting to always feel like you have to like maintain this high vibration and whatnot. Anyways, so I feel like more than anything, this is about putting this power of manifestation back into your hands, back into your reality, and realizing that you're not like as helpless as you might think right now, okay? And just because it's taking a while for you to see the results of your manifestations, it doesn't mean they're not coming. And in fact, because we live in this physical reality, there's a certain period of delay before you actually see results, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, like once you see that that's the case, it's not going to bother you as much anymore because you're just going to know, okay, that's fine, it's just a delay. And it's also because you're used to there being a delay. And it's also because there's this concept of, things are going to get worse before they get better. And if you've heard that before, like a million times, you're not alone. I feel like most of us have heard that. And that's what we kind of manifest into our reality through thinking that that's the case, right? So it doesn't have to be. But if you deeply believe that that is so, then okay, it might be so, but it doesn't mean that your manifestations are not coming to life, to reality, okay? And another point I wanted to make here is that if you're thinking about starting something like an entrepreneurial business or whatever the heck you're thinking about right now, any new idea where you're kind of like discouraged from doing it either by other people or by yourself, which could be the same thing because you've manifested people who are like discouraging you from getting there for whatever reason. But if for whatever reason you feel like there was a big competition, there's like no way for you to make it happen right now, please know that this reality is freaking limitless. It's limitless. I mean, just to be more specific, it's limitless within the parameters that we exist in on the physical plane, on Earth, okay, on the specific planet. So, there is, for example, gravity, okay? There is gravity and you can't really neglect that. I mean, you can fly with a parachute, for example, or on a plane, but if you were to try flying by yourself, then you know how that's going to end, okay? So we do have certain parameters, but at the same time, we can overcome or like go around those parameters to still make our reality fit into how we want for it to be, basically, okay? But let's at the same time not forget that we also have certain soul themes and certain soul lessons that we have chosen to experience on this plane as well. Anyway, so without making it like more complicated, I feel like I really need to create like a separate video on this stuff. But my point being that the last thing that you need to consider is the said competition that you believe that you might have, in whatever sense that might be, relationship or creating something that you're like, oh my god, like I want to create t-shirts, but there's 100 million people creating t-shirts all around me, and why would mine be special or whatever. I want to emphasize that you would not be having this idea, you would not be picking up on the frequency of this idea if there wasn't something about it that you needed to have in your life. And I feel like it's such a waste of time to focus like on your competition, unless you're using it to inspire yourself and to be like, wow, how are they doing this? This is a great idea. I want to use this too. In that case, by all means, okay, check out your competition, get inspired. But if it's just meant, if you just use it in a way of making yourself feel like shit and just letting that energy bring you down, hell no, okay? That's not what it's for. It's for the contrast, for you to feel the contrast of how your life could have been, how much better it could be. And please use it more as an inspirational force than anything else, rather than something that puts you down. So, not paying attention to your imaginary or even whatever, even if it feels like it's a real competition. Not getting hung up on how long it takes, because you might still be operating on the inertia of this energy that you've been putting into your life for probably many years, okay? I can't assume, but chances are, as we all have, And remembering how much power you do have, you can freaking direct your own thoughts. Is it hard to do? I mean, it's not hard. It's kind of like it feels like a hassle, especially at first, because you're just so used to letting the thoughts control over you. But they don't have to. You always have that choice. You can always, like, even if a negative thought enters your mind, your field, or whatever, you can acknowledge it and be like, okay, yeah, I hear you, but whatever, I'm not gonna give into and dwell on this bullshit. Like, is it serving me? Is it making me feel any better? Is it doing anything good for me right now at all? If no, then bye, okay? And I know, I mean, of course, easier said than done, but it's definitely possible. I feel like you just have to accumulate this new inertia where you start doing that stuff. And that's when it keeps getting easier and easier and easier. And before you know it, it's like a natural response. Just like before you didn't have that response naturally. And your natural response would be to dwell on those thoughts. Eventually, you turn that around and you start, like, your natural response begins to disregard that thought or tell yourself the opposite and convince yourself of the opposite of whatever it is that makes you feel a lot better than that negative thought, okay? And then I feel like this one is very similar. I won't put those unwanted ingredients in my pie. It's more about how much power we have and how many options we have. To me, those ingredients are metaphorically our thoughts. Pie is our reality and ingredients are our thoughts, and what thoughts do we want to comprise our reality? How do we want our reality to look ultimately? So I also wanted to, before I go, and oh my god, this is like a really long, for some reason, message, but I guess you needed to hear this. And also there were like 60 cards, so excuse me for taking forever. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to mention here is that I noticed that all of these cards have the number 3 in them. This one, I don't know if you can see it. This one says 39. This is literally 3. This is 30. And then this is 36. And those of you who are into numerology are gonna probably notice that and be very interested to acknowledge that. But what that made me think of is the third card in the major arcana of the tarot, which is the Empress. And in this case, it's all about creation. I just love how everything fits in so nicely into this. It's all about creation. It's all about nurturing what it is that you want to see happen in your reality. Nurturing your gifts, nurturing your desires, nurturing your feelings, nurturing your inner child. You know, taking time to relax the F out and not make this more stressful than it ever needs to be, okay? And more than anything, it's about creating your own reality. Just having this passion and joy and also peace, the sense of peacefulness, and the fact that like everything is going to work out in the best possible way, and making yourself feel comfortable while you do it. It doesn't have to be like so stressful and whatever. It can be so nice and positive and easy. I feel like we've all been working too hard at this manifestation stuff anyway. So I just wanted to bring that up because I feel like the reason why you were meant to hear this message right now, and if you're listening still, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You might as well subscribe if you're enjoying this so much. No pressure. But I feel like the reason why this message has found you is because your soul wanted to send back this energy to you and to remind you just how freaking powerful you are. How powerful you are in terms of reality manifesting, how powerful you are in terms of having control over your thoughts and directing them in the way that suits you, in the way that makes you feel better, and in the way that just helps you make the best out of your life. Yeah, so, I mean, awesome message, right? It's just like a really nice soul reminder, or spirit guides, your spirit guides reminding you that, hey, you're not as helpless as you might think. Your situation is not as hopeless as you might think. A lot of it can be changed fully and completely. A lot of it is there for you just to experience this contrast and to understand that it doesn't have to be this way, and to understand how you can manifest a different reality into your life. And with that, I am going to go now. But thank you all so much again for listening to this. If it resonated, I would love to hear back your comments. And I am hoping to do more tarot, pick a card readings in the future. But of course, I'm gonna keep doing like unboxing new decks if I come across any good ones. By the way, I always include the links to these decks below the video, so check them out if this looks interesting to you. Other than that, have an amazing day or night or your whole life. And I can't wait to connect with you in the future if we co-create that reality, okay? Again, thanks so much for your time, and I'm wishing you all the very, very best. And if you feel like connecting, please reach out via askyoursoul.org. Okay, have an awesome one. Bye!